Hello everyone, welcome back to a very special episode of Fluffy Flamingos. I'm Oliver, and typically on this channel we teach you guys magic tricks. We've done plenty of close-up, card tricks, mentalism, things of that sort. But today I really wanted to flip things onto its head and look at a different aspect about being a magician that is hardly ever talked about, if ever talked about. This is an aspect of magic that I feel many people just look over or don't even consider as being an important tool in your toolkit. But this is probably the biggest thing that you need to work on in order to be even remotely a good magician. Today, I wanted to focus on how to be a showman, how to be an entertainer, how to drip riz out of your ass because you got so much of it, so much excess. You don't want to just be mechanically doing tricks like a robot. Like, just be a charismatic, entertaining person for your audience. No one wants to go watch a robot do card tricks. In this episode, we're going to be covering quite a few things like confidence, interaction, pausing is a big thing, and among a few other items that we're going to cross over today. And for me, I think it makes the most sense if we start at what should be the beginning of a show, and we'll walk through what a show would look like, and we'll finish at the end of a show. I'm pretty excited. I think this is going to be very beneficial for a lot of you. So let's begin, I think. Let's go. Let's do this. Yeah. All right. So what is the first thing that we talk about when it comes to being in a show? First step is introducing yourself to the audience. So I know that a big problem for a lot of people, including me when I first started, was introducing myself and bringing up the subject that I'm a magician and I would like to show you guys a cool trick or whatever. There's 100 different ways to introduce yourself as a magician when it comes to words, but the hard part is getting the confidence to go introduce yourself, to go tell them. And some advice that I found that was extremely helpful is that confidence is just like a muscle. If I were to go to the gym today, I probably wouldn't be able to lift a whole lot because I don't go to the gym very regularly. But if I start going to the gym and make it more of a regular thing, I'm there every morning and I'm trying to like add weight to my lifting, then over time I will be able to lift a much heavier things a lot easier, right? That's just how working out works. Well, the same goes for your brain. Your brain also needs that exercise when it comes to being confident. You just need to keep putting yourself in situations where you have to introduce yourself, where you have to bring up the fact that you're a magician. For me, a couple of ways that I was able to do this was when I was in high school, I used to just do magic presentations for classes if I was allowed to use that, right? So for an English class, we were talking about magical realism. So I did like a sort of magic trick kind of thing for the class. So just get creative, find ways that will insert you into that situation. And it could just be as easy as going outside and doing some street magic on the literal street. It is nerve-wracking, it is difficult, but the more that you just kind of force yourself into doing it, the more natural, easy, and organic it becomes. Some street magic, I've done this a couple hundred times, but I'll walk up to a random stranger. Hi, I'm Oliver. How's it going? Nice to meet you. I'm a magician. I've been doing magic for a couple years, and I'm just going around showing people some tricks. Would you be interested in a little presentation? So at this point, I've introduced myself, what I'm here to do, and that they have an option as well. I think that is something extremely important that people miss, is that you should be giving your audience an option of watching or not. You should not corner someone at Walgreens and be like, hey, it looks like you're really busy trying to pick out the right Benadryl for your dying son, but I could make that shit disappear. That's right, baby. It's gone. Fuck your son. Don't be that guy. Don't be the guy who forces people to watch you. Not everyone is into that thing. Not everyone even has the time for that thing. Just be courteous and friendly and extend an offer. Would you like to see a little performance, a little trick? If they say no, that's it. Sometimes people just don't understand the value of magic, or don't really have a taste for it. Some people are just too busy. So don't take every blow like it's a personal blow, like they hate you specifically and they think that you would be a terrible magician. That's most likely not the answer. That's probably not why they turned you down. So don't take such a personal hit. It's all right. It's okay. Don't cry. So beginning of the show, or the first act, let's say, this is when you really want to begin pushing the flow of your magic and your style. Let's discuss, I don't know, seance magic. We're using Ouija boards and automatically moving bells, lots of mentalism, things like that. Your audience at this point should be impressed with things that you're doing, but it should be a unique experience because you have a different style, a different theme, a different message. We talked about how to make a show in the past, right? This is specifically about your charisma, your entertainment value, right? So to entertain someone, this has to be different from most people. And there's hundreds of ways to do that. Using a different style in your magic. Every show should be themed, like we discussed in our How to Make a Show episode. You should have a theme or something for the audience to follow along with. So, I don't know, this guy's doing seance magic, and let's say the theme or message is about connecting with loved ones. And every trick that we do somehow ties into that message. This is a very unique and fun show that I probably would attend. This sounds like a lot of fun. All right, throughout the show, this is just a generic kind of blanket statement, like common sense, I would hope, but this has to be said because I see so many magicians on Instagram and TikTok that don't do this shit, and it boggles me, man. How are you alive? How has there not been an angry mob that has killed you yet? Throughout the show, please, for the love of God, make some fucking jokes. Please, like, talk to the audience. Make some engagement, some interaction. Your audience, like, oh, okay. There's a few instances where this rule is null. And, like, the biggest one that I can think of is, like, a stage show where you don't really need a whole lot of people up on stage if that's the kind of act you're doing. But if you are using spectators, you need to learn some fucking names. Learn some names. Learn something about them. Are they tall? How old are they? Are they from the area? Do they live here? Just basic stuff, man. Like, it's not difficult. This is George. He's 23. Just a little bit older than I am because my birthday's tomorrow. I'm going to be 22. I'm so old. But just learn something. Make them feel like they're special, that this is a unique experience because we are talking, interacting, and learning about one another. Your audience is going to want to know some things about you. Obviously, pull out some factoids about yourself while you do your show. I did this trick last time in New Jersey for a lovely couple and their children, and they loved it because I made their son come back from the dead that they thought they lost all those years ago. So I'm going to do the same for you guys because you're such a special audience, and I want to do something special for you as well. See, now we just learned you can save babies and that you were in Jersey once. So there you go. That's a good show. You are engaging and interacting with the audience. Again, remember some names. They will feel so special if you can, in 10 minutes, be like, all right, so over here we're talking with Joanna, and she's a hoot. Why don't we bring Joanna back up on here? Everyone, they're going to fucking love that shit, man. Yeah, man. Dig into that. People are going to love that. Throughout the show, here's another good rule that I would stand by, is to pause. Please pause. Pause every once in a while, just a little bit. It's not like 10 minutes worth of pausing, but pause. Now, when I mean pause, I'm talking about two things. Do not just go into the next trick immediately. Could you, like, put your dick back in your pants for 2 seconds, please? I get you're cool. You can do some sick tricks. And you probably learn a bunch of them from this channel because you're so cool. But you need to let the audience breathe, homie. Let them breathe a little. Especially if it's a street magic thing. They did not come out here to see you. They just came out here and happened to see you. They're seeing some cool stuff, granted, but they need some oxygen. They need a break. Have some conversation in between tricks. Learn some more about your audience. Then there's the other kind of pausing. You need to give yourself a break as well. You need to not make it 100% about you. You need to make this about them and you. As I've mentioned before, for me, magic is all about making a special moment that is hard to recreate. Meeting a random stranger, having a good time, learning about them learning about you, and both of you leaving less than strangers and a little bit happier. That's what magic is about. You need to give you a break. Because I know as a magician, you can get very egotistical very quickly. I've been there. I've met people that are there, and I've known people that have been there as well. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but you need to understand this show is for everyone, not just for you to make some money, not just for you to show your skill. There is an element of both of those. Yeah, for sure. There is an element of making money. There is an element about this being about you, but it's not only that. And you guys need to be happy where you're at. Be happy that you even have people that are willing to watch. Be grateful as fuck. And sorry I'm swearing so much in this episode. I'm very passionate about this subject because I see so many people online all the time just barreling through tricks. Do not let them breathe. Do not let the audience get a word in edgewise. We don't even know the spectators' names by the end of the video. Call a yikes on that. Not a good performance, I don't think. If I were the spectator in that video, would that have been fun? Because you can watch something on TikTok and be like, that was a cool trick. But think about it from the person's perspective. If you were the spectator in that, would that have been equally as cool? Or is it just because this is on TikTok that it's cool? You got to use your big brain on this stuff. Just go on some tangents. Have fun with it, really. Be in the moment. That's kind of what it boils down to. If you want to be a really good magician, just be in the moment and focus on everybody. Just distribute the attention evenly. Okay, last part, the end of the show. Thank your goddamn audience. Thank them. Okay? I know I said be grateful, but make sure they know that you're grateful. Let them know you're like, hey, I'm just a small town magician or a big town magician, and it's so cool to me as a person individually that grew up in the slums that people would even give a rat's ass to come out here, buy tickets and watch me, or even just say yes to me going out on the street and asking for an audience. Thank you guys for making my dream come true of being a magician where people actually listen, watch, and talk to me. Honestly, a lot of people aren't so lucky. A lot of people aren't at that stage yet. Be grateful and thank your goddamn audience. We mentioned this in the last video of the how to make a show, but make an ending that is unforgettable. Make something that is special to the audience. Make them feel like this is very unique. It could be the same trick that you did last time, but it's under a different theme. It has more meaning because it's something that came up during the show, and really tie it in. Today, we're going to be doing Red Pill for the ending of this trick, for this show. And Steven earlier mentioned that he brought his brother on stage. So we're going to bring up his brother, Robert. Robert, what do you do for a living? I do photography. That's very interesting. I've dabbled in some photography as well. Well, for this trick, for the ending of this show, we're going to do something very special. And as a photographer, I feel like you would understand this trick a little bit more. The impossibility of a frame-by-frame adjustment. And you'll see what I'm talking about in just a minute. Just simple things that will tie in the show with the audience. Make the last trick feel like a sweet, terrible goodbye. Because this is my last trick. The show is over after this. I'm not going to see any of you after tonight, most likely. It's been so nice meeting you. This trick, I hope, blows your pants off. So here we go. So you do the trick. It's very special, very sweet. You tie it in with the audience perfectly. They're feeling the emotion, the love, the magic, if you will. And then it's time to say goodbye. It's been an incredible evening. I have had so much fun with all of you. Thank you guys so much for attending and for feeling what magic really is like for all of us. I felt a special connection with Steven. I felt a special connection with his brother, Robert. I even had a special connection with Joanna. And I wouldn't trade it for anything because you guys made tonight so special for me. And I hope that I could make this night so special for all of you. I'm Oliver Mizrahi. It's been a pleasure. have a good night. And then you walk off stage, everyone clapping their cheeks off because it was so dang good. All the clapping out of the way. And then they realize how miserable they are now that you're gone. Right? Because they just blew, I don't know, $30 on your show. They're like, God damn, it's done already? Ah! That's the kind of reaction you want after you walk off the stage. You probably won't ever see that reaction, but I like to imagine. I like to picture that every once in a while when I get off stage. Damn it! Oh, sorry. Homeboy just left already. Like, show's already over. Just realized it's not a 24-hour show, and that was really short, and I want more. So I guess a good way to sum up this video is a robot. A robot has literally been programmed to do magic tricks in the past, right? We have seen that. But the robot uses precision and coding to do magic. And you can do magic the same way. You could just program yourself to do tricks, mechanically do it really well. But it takes emotion and interaction to make a great showman, a great magician. Just don't worry about the mistakes or the mess ups, because that's all they are. That's literally all they are. That's what it's all about, creating that magic moment. Being charismatic is not like a science. There is no correct way to be entertaining or charismatic, because there's just hundreds of different ways to be each, you know? Someone could be likable for a different reason than someone else, you know? Find out what suits your act and enjoy being there in the moment with your audience. That's all this boils down to. Don't be a selfish human being. Build up your confidence and start working out that muscle. Start getting used to the organic feeling of just walking up and introducing yourself and being like, hey, would you like to see a trick today? And I think that's where we're going to leave it for today. Confidence, charisma, these are all hard things to practice, but you will not get anywhere if you are just a shit human being. You need to learn to balance how you act and how you perform in front of your audience. Do not come off like a douchebag. Do not just write someone off. Do not forget someone's name and then guess it later. Are you kidding me? I've seen that. I have seen that. Do not take a chance if you are going to risk looking like an absolute dick in front of your audience. Find another way to bring up their name again or something. I wanted this episode to be nice and casual and fun for all of us, and that's why I got my little handheld baby. But you can do this. You can work on this, and you will get far if you just keep at it. Keep at it. I've been doing magic for a very long time, like 8-9 years almost. You don't just figure this stuff out overnight. It takes lots of practice, but not just in the fingers and the hand movements, but the way that you process a show from your perspective, the way that you feel in your heart that you can make a connection with someone. That's what makes an amazing magician. I've been your host, Oliver, and you are going to do great things. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button to get more stuff like this. Hit that bell for a notification so you know when it comes out. I'll see you guys in the next episode of Fluffy Flamingos. Peace out.